Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia Dunn, and I'm going to read an excerpt from Mother Tongue by Bill Bryson, his chapter on swearing. And that's the cover. And I'm reading, starting on page 218, I'm going to skip around a little bit. No other language approaches English for the number of delicate expletives of the sort that you could safely say in front of a maiden aunt. Darn, dern, drat, gosh, golly, goodness, gracious, gee whiz, jeepers, shucks, and so on. We have scores, if not hundreds, of these terms. However, sometimes even these words are regarded as exceptional, particularly when they are new. Blooming and blasted, originally devised as mild epithets, were in 19th century England considered nearly as offensive as the more venerable expletives they were meant to replace. But then, of course, the gravity of swear words in any language has little to do with the words themselves and much more to do with the fact that they are forbidden. It is a circular effect. Forbidden words are emotive because they are forbidden, and they are forbidden because they are emotive. Skipping a few paragraphs. Soon after Shakespeare's death, Britain went through a period of prudery of the sort with which all countries are periodically seized. In 1623, an act of parliament was passed, making it illegal to swear. People were fined for such mild oaths as, quote, upon my life, and, quote, by my troth. Mild utterances indeed compared with the, quote, God's paxes and, quote, facund faiths of a generation before. In 1649, the laws were tightened even further to the extent that swearing at a parent became punishable by death. But the greatest outburst of prudery came in the 19th century, when it swept through the world like a fever. It was an age when sensibilities grew so delicate that one lady was reported to have dressed her goldfish in miniature suits for the sake of propriety. And a certain Madame de la Presse left her fortune to provide clothing for the snowmen of Paris. Prudery, so often associated with the reign of Queen Victoria, 1837-1901, actually considerably predated it. One of the great names in the field was that of Thomas Boulder, an Edinburgh physician who purified the works of writers such as Shakespeare and Gibbon, boasting that it was his practice to add nothing new to the work, but simply to remove those words that, quote, cannot with propriety be read aloud in a family, end quote. His 10-volume Family Shakespeare appeared in 1818, a year before Victoria was born, so it is clear the Queen didn't establish the trend, but simply helped to prolong it. In fact, almost a century before she reigned, Samuel Johnson was congratulated by a woman for leaving indecent words out of his dictionary, to which he devastatingly replied, quote, so you've been looking for them, have you, madam? End quote. It has sometimes been said that prudery reached such a height in the 19th century that people took to dressing their piano legs in little skirts, lest they rouse anyone to untimely passion. Thomas Piles, in his outstanding Words and Ways of American English, tracked the story to a book called Diary in America, written in 1837 by an English traveler, Captain Frederick Marryat, and concluded that the story was told for comic effect and almost certainly was untrue. Rather more plausible was the anecdote recorded in the same book in which Marryat made the serious gaffe of asking a young lady if she had hurt her leg in a fall. The woman blushingly averted her gaze and told him that people did not use that word in America. Quote, I apologize for my want of refinement, which was attributable to having been accustomed only to English society, end quote, Marryat drolly remarked, and asked the lady what was the acceptable term for such articles. Limbs, he was told. It was an age in which the most innocuous words became unacceptable at a rate that must have been dizzying. Stomach became a euphemism for belly, and in its turn was considered too graphic and was replaced by tummy, midriff, and even breadbasket. The conventional terms for the parts of a chicken, such as breast, leg, and thigh, caused particular anxiety and had to be replaced with terms like drumstick, first joint, and white meat. The names for male animals, such as buck and stallion, were never used in mixed company. Bulls were called sires, or male animals, and in a truly inspired burst of ridiculousness, gentlemen cows. Okay, I think I'll stop there. But if you like Bill Bryson, this is his table of contents. If you like Bill Bryson, he's written a lot of books. I particularly like this one, A Walk in the Woods. And I listened to it on audio. It was fantastic. So anyway, that's all, folks.